Hello and welcome to another Toronto After Dark Film Festival 2016 video. In this video we're going to be talking about a film that comes close, and if you painted with a very wide brush, might make the 31 Days of Horror, but at most I'm thinking this is going to be a dark fantasy sci-fi with a almost body horror aspect to it. Yeah, it's a comedy. Well, that's it. We're talking about The Master Cleanse. So, yeah, if you are at all aware of, I will put it in the New Age category, and the idea of cleansing, drinking, a lot of people will be on like tomato juice cleanses or orange juice cleanse or whatever. They'll pick something and just stick with that. And the whole idea and concept is that, your body you get rid of all the toxins by just, taking it in. Maybe it's just water. Maybe you just drink water for a bunch of days and you don't eat anything or whatever. You just cleanse it all out, because the body doesn't normally cleanse stuff anyways. It's not built to do that. But that aside, yes, this takes the idea and concept of a cleanse and takes it into very odd territory. Essentially, we've got a bunch of characters who are, for one reason or another, want to take a special, exclusive cleanse that has, it's sort of a trial of sorts, via a spiritual retreat with that, this whole cleanse has been developed by some sort of, spiritual guru type thing, like essentially almost like a TV evangelical type, New Age prophet type thing, self-help type guru. He's developed this new cleanse, and this is an exclusive thing where people sign up and they pick who they want to try it out, and before it goes off to, the masses and such. So there are 4 people essentially picked up for this. One is a couple, and the other are a man and a woman who, obviously there's some attraction there between those two. So it's like 2 couples in a way. Now, the film is written and directed by somebody named Bobby Miller. You're not going to know him because this is essentially the only thing he's really done. So, kudos to him for making a feature film. It's not a long film. It's under an hour and a half. It's, an hour and 15, hour and 20. But he actually, this dude has managed to put more, I'm going to call them stars. Some of them are really big, some of them are not so big, but you may recognize pretty much almost everybody in this film. The girl and love interest in the film is played by Anna Friel, who, she's been in all sorts of stuff. Limitless, Land of the Lost. If you watch the television show Pushing Daisies, she was in that. The TV movie The Psychopath Next Door. I'm trying to think of stuff that, as fans of this type of things would be into. Bathory, Countess of Blood. She was Bathory in that. She was also in Timeline. If you saw that, she was Lady Claire. So, and that's just a small smattering of what she's been in. So we get her. Obviously, she's got a resume going for her. Then we get the couple that are there. The boyfriend, played by Kyle Gallner, who you may know from the Nightmare on Elm Street, the Elm Street remake. He was Quentin Smith. He was in American Sniper, The Haunting in Connecticut. He was even in Big Love. I don't know. he's in so many things. Yeah, Veronica Mars. If you watched that, he was the Cassidy Casablanca, aka Beaver character. He was in so many things. Like, I'm trying to think. There was not Jennifer's Body. Like, he's Colin Gray in Jennifer's Body. Like, this another guy who has may not know everything he's in, and some of them are small parts, some of them are bigger parts, some of them are main parts. Large body of work that he's been in, both television and feature films, and television stuff as well, television movies. Then his girlfriend is played by Diana Bang, who is probably one of the least known of the actors in this film. But she had a part in The Interview. She played Sook in that. Excuse me. She has been in all sorts of. I think she's Canadian. So, and this was shot out west in Canada. So, I think a good portion of what she's, like a lot of Canadian actors, is she does. Shot in Canada, she gets a part in there. But if you saw Paranormal Solutions Inc., the television series, she was Olivia. She had some parts in Bates Motel as Jiao for a few bunch of episodes. Fringe, she was in a couple of those. So she's been in a bunch of stuff, some big name films. Nothing really she isn't a major character in most of the stuff, but again, she she's a seasoned, I'd call her seasoned at this point, considering she'd been acting for at least 8 years prior to this, so we get that. But these are the least known people in the film. That's what I'm saying. These are the 3 least known people in this film. Next up, you get, obviously, the main character and the face of the poster, Johnny Galecki, who, essentially, you're going to know him from The Big Bang Theory, right? He is Leonard. That's who he is. Or if maybe you know him from Roseanne when he was David. Yeah, he is essentially the main character in this film, and it sort of revolves around him, and he is essentially he's a heartbroken guy who's dealing with problems, and that's why he's going on this cleanse thing. He's actually the only one who, he really wants to go for himself, and the girlfriend of the couple, she's the one who wants her boyfriend to go. But yeah, so that's your 4 people who are going on this cleanse. Then, of course, you've got, the leader of the, what would you call it, the group that's putting on this cleanse. Not the spiritual guru, but the, how would you, I guess the manager, I guess is how you would say it. I don't know. Who is played by Angelica Houston. Yes, the Angelica Houston. If I have to... Okay, I'll tell you what she's been in. Lately, she's been in Transparent, but before that, she was in Smash. If you watch that, she had a big part in 50-50. Of course, she was in Medium for a bit. But I think most people on this particular, watching my videos are going to know her either from The Royal Tenenbaums as Ethline Tenenbaum, or the great, and I still love watching them, Addams Family and Addams Family Values. Yes, Morticia Addams. That's your Angelica Houston right there. So like I said, she's the leader of this camp, spiritual retreat type thing. And goes on, and we get Kevin J. O'Connor is kind of like the caretaker there. He's hired help, and he's in there doing stuff, and you're gonna know him from anything. If you watch the G.I. Joe movies, he's Dr. Mindbender. From There Will Be Blood, he's Henry. From Van Helsing, he's Igor. But I think most people are probably going to remember him from the Mummy movies as Benny. Yes, the great Benny from the Mummy movies. And he's been in a slew of other things, of course. But you'll recognize him right as soon as you see him. And then on top of all of that, yes, it keeps going. The actual guru, the head guru himself, is played by Oliver Platt. Like, hello? I don't even know he's in everything, right? But 2012 was one of the latest things he was in. The West Wing. I mean, if I was going to pick anything for people who watch my channel, let's say Bicentennial Man, he was Rupert Burns, and from Lake Placid, he was Hector. So, yeah. So that's your main slew of cast members in this film. So I don't know how this Bobby Miller guy who writes and directs this film comes to get all of these like well-seasoned actors and like name actors as well for this small little, film that he's put together. I don't know who he knows, but somehow he managed to, maybe he has money. I don't know. Maybe he paid them all well. But yeah, he puts together this little thing about going on a cleanse. Now, like I said, there's a little bit of body horror thing because you're ingesting this cleanse and there's something, not normal. This isn't your normal cleanse. No, this is this cleanse leads you down a road where your darkness, your what would you see? Your traumas, your the things that your negative energies. We'll put it in context of New Age. Your negative energies are physically manifested, and the whole idea is you have to overcome your these negative energies, these traumas, these things, and essentially, if you don't, they will consume you. That's the whole idea, right? But it's done physically, and it's honestly, I was surprised at how much I actually enjoyed this film. The poster does not sell the film. The trailer doesn't quite sell the film. It's really hard to sell this film without giving too much away. There is puppet work, and it's fantastic. There's some, there's some gruesome type aspects to it, which are really good. It's funny. It has so many little aspects that you could tie towards a horror film, but like I said, it's more of a dark fantasy. It's more of a drama. I say a sci-fi because the whole idea of cleansing and physical manifestation of it is kind of science fiction-y. But at the same time, it does have comedic aspects to it, and it's got cute aspects to it, and things that just make you go, oh, and other things that make you go, ugh. So I mean, it's like one moment you could be like, oh my god, that's this guy, and the next moment you could be like, oh, that's kind of cute. And honestly, the pace and stuff works for it. I think it could have been longer, could have been worked a little bit more. There is a few moments in the film where it kind of it doesn't really perfectly fit together, but yeah, I don't know. It's if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably go around a 2.5 to a 3, partially because I enjoyed it, but I think it does have a problem with the fact that it's very predictable once you figure out what's going on, and you understand the idea of the master cleanse and all of the mantra that goes with doing stuff like that. The expelling your toxins and the New Age idea of coming to terms with your your pasts and your aggressions and all that kind of stuff, and purging the demons and all that kind of stuff. Once you understand how the film relates to all of that, if you don't have any knowledge of any of that, then you know what, this will all just be new and you'll just go through it. But once you if you have that kind of knowledge, you have that backstory, then you can kind of see how this film is playing out. It's funny. I actually suggested to a few people that I know who are big into that health kick and all that kind of stuff to check out this film. And I don't know that, well, it's not really available for them, but I said keep your eyes open for it, The Master Cleanse, and once you see it, give it a watch. And I don't know what will happen, because I didn't really tell them too much about it. So yeah, like I said, there are a few moments where it's like really, but all in all, I think it's one of those things where hopefully they can see what's going on and give it a little bit of a chuckle and a laugh, because I do know that for me on the outside, I did find it quite pertinent to, in relation to those friends of mine and people I know, and acquaintances who very much would be into a master cleanse. So I pictured them a lot while I was watching this film, being like, oh man, I mean, what would you say if you actually did this? So yeah, it's Master Cleanse. It's not perfect, it's not great, but it's well done, well acted. It's got a lot going for it. Great puppet work, and the whole idea and concept about it. Though it is, it's kind of like a short film that's been drawn out without enough pieces thrown in, but it still manages to accomplish its goal without getting too far off track. So, yeah. Give it a watch. It's short, so you know what, you can watch it and you don't have to worry about wasting your time too much. But The Master Cleanse, yeah, I'm giving it a recommend. There you go. Anyways, thanks for watching. Till next video, take care. Have a good one. I should probably drink something. Feeling kind of thirsty.